Thanks for staying with us here on Journalists Hangout on Sunday. Now, from the time of Aminu Kano in the First Republic to Abubakar Rimi in the Second Republic, Kano has played a critical role in Nigeria's political development. With the 2023 elections getting closer, the state is poised to play a key role in the presidential race, just like it did in 2015 and 2019 elections. The state governor, Abdullahi Ganduje, has been at the forefront of the call for power shift to the south in 2023 and a key player in the struggle by the All Progressives Congress to produce a formidable front and credible candidate for the presidential race. Governor Ganduje will be speaking with Journalists Hangout on the 2023 elections and the APC Presidential Primaries slated for 7th of June. Thank you very kindly for joining us. Let's now join our Governor Abdullahi Ganduje, who will be speaking with us from Abuja. Thank you so much for joining us, Your Excellency.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, let's begin with the big news from Northern APC governors who insisted the power must shift to the south in 2023. How were you governors able to arrive at this?
Thank you very much for this important question. You know, some few of us earlier on advocated for a southern presidential candidate in our great party, what is the APC. So we continue dialoguing among ourselves, and at the end of it, we will all agree that for peace and stability in the country, peace and stability in the party, and zoning is a gentleman's agreement, and we believe our leaders in APC are gentlemen and gentlewomen. So that is how we came about this advice, which we conveyed to Mr. President. And I'm happy that Mr. President has given the agreement to that effect.
Well, quite interesting to know that. So with some APC presidential aspirant from the north still in the race, how do you think the party should handle this, considering the fact that they can't be forced to drop to drop such ambition? Well,
you can see that some have already started dropping their ambition, like the governor of Kano State. And also we agree we continue to dialogue with the remaining candidates until they change their mind and they heed to our appeal in order to drop their ambition. So it's a continuous process. And I believe even at the dying minute we can succeed in doing that. They are all creditable aspirants and they are people of honor, and we continue to discuss with them until we succeed.
Actually, the decision took many in our country by surprise. And I've been wondering how easy was it for you to arrive at this game-changing decision. People never thought that it would happen. But when you people came together, how easy was it to get everyone to support this?
Well, actually, it has not been easy. But you know, when the facts are on the ground, and also from our own experiences, we believe that zoning should be respected, and it should be the turn of the aspirant from the southern part of this country. So we really worked very hard in order to save the image of northern politicians, especially those in APC, and also for peace and stability. So this is a hard fact. But you can see that this is not the first time such thing happened. Even in 1979, in the NPN, you see that when NPN decided to zone the presidency to the northern part of this country, there was a mini convention in Kaduna, which myself as a young graduate and a politician, we participated in the in the selection of 6 presidential aspirants.
Yeah.
People like, our great president, Shehu Shagari of Breast Memory, Maitama Sule of Breast Memory, Adamu Chiroma of Blessed Memory, then J.S. Taka from Benue, and Sola Saraki from Kwara of Blessed Memory, and also Professor, the former Vice Chancellor of Ahmadu Bello University. So we selected 6 of them and presented to the National Convention in Lagos, and then Shagari was elected. So you can see that zoning is not a new thing. Zoning is, though it's not in the Constitution, but it's a gentleman's agreement. So there is nothing new to convince our colleagues to come to this resolution. So I think we are happy that this thing has been accepted by Mr. President.
Okay. How set is the party for the primaries that will be held on Tuesday?
We are getting ready for it. I'm the chairman of Transportation Committee, and we are working very hard for that. All various committees are working around the clock to ensure that there is a success. And also we made it before when we had our national convention some few months ago. We succeeded in electing our new executive members, and we work along the same line to elect a presidential candidate for our own great party, inshallah. So,
right.
Now that, Your Excellency, now that the meeting with the President yesterday, which was Saturday, ended without you agreeing on a consensus candidate for the presidential election, how do you think the party will move forward, especially when, like we asked earlier, not everybody will be willing to drop their ambition?
I think if you are conversant with political issues and variables in politicking, you don't expect Mr. President to gather the aspirants and point out one of them to say this is the one that was favored. But Mr. President has done well by asking them to go and discuss among themselves and probably come up with one candidate. But in case they are not being able to do that, then we go for election, which is normal. So I think the process is still on course, and Mr. President has done the right thing, especially after accepting our advice for limiting it to the 1,000 presidential aspirants. Yes.
And you think that the APC will be able to come up with a candidate who will be as strong as that of the PDP, who is former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, knowing his antecedents and his electoral value in the North, especially?
Yes, I think we are coming out with a stronger candidate in our great party. We did it before and we will do it again. So if we weigh the weight of the aspirants so far, you see among them certainly there will be some that will measure to Atiku Abubakar from the North.
You're one of the governors backing the presidential aspiration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Why are you supporting him to become president in 2023? What did you see in him that you think others don't?
Thank you for this important question. Really, Tinubu is my candidate, not because he's a Yoruba man, not because he has come from the southern part of this country, but what I have seen in him, his credentials in politics, his credentials in governance, and also his credentials in achievement motive. You see, in terms of politics, you know, Asuwaju was a Democrat who fought for democracy during the pro-democracy fight, during the military rule. You know, he was a member of NEDECO who fought for the restoration of the mandate of MKO Abiola. And even before, during that one, he had to be in exile. Because he didn't agree with the military junta at that time. So you can see that he really worked. And also, he is also participated in the formation of different political parties in this country. And the latest one is the formation of the APC. So in terms of political participation, I think his credentials are very high. And for governance, you can see that seeing is believing. Asuwaju was the governor of Lagos State, and Lagos State as a mega city took it to the next level. You can see Lagos is the model of governance in Nigeria. It is one of the strongest economies in Africa as a state. And also he improved the revenue of the state from 600 million up to 51 billion per month. So you can see that he improved the infrastructural facilities in Lagos. If you could recall, you know the capital of Nigeria was in Lagos, but it was removed from Lagos to Abuja because of some inherent problems pertaining to security, pertaining to transportation, and also pertaining to security. But later on, when Tinubu became the governor of Kano State, he improved the transportation system of Lagos, even started the light rail system, and then constituted various institutions to regulate transportation in the system, introduced a bus transit system in Lagos, and you can see that the hold-up in Lagos has been drastically reduced. And also he even recovered land from the sea, including the land area for Lagos State for expansion. So, and also Bola Tinubu, since he governed Lagos in 1999, up till now he has not failed in the election for Lagos State governorship. So is somebody that you can trust, is somebody that is somebody with a vision, somebody who is concerned, and also he built a number of bridges across the country. In fact, when Atiku Abubakar was intimidated in PDP, he gave him a presidential ticket in his in SEN. So you can see that he is a friend to Northerners and a friend to all Nigerians. So that is what I have seen peculiar in Asuwaju, and I think he is the best candidate to lead this country at the moment. Yes. Right.
Quite interesting to know. Now let's take a peek into Kano politics. How would you rate the chances of the All Progressives Congress in Kano State after former Governor Shekarau and other chieftains joined Kwankwanso in NNPP?
Thank you very much. You know, this is a question that many people are asking. Our chances are very high because certainly the two former governors are important politicians, but you should take note that in politics, when you change party from one place to another, you tend to lose our supporters at a certain levels. So Kwankwanso, as the former governor of Kano State, he was in PDP. We were together in PDP. Then we moved to APC, and we lost some followers by so doing. And he was in APC, he moved to PDP. He lost some followers, and now he moved to a new party, NMPP. He has also lost some followers. The same thing with Ibrahim Shekarau, who was in APP. He moved to APC. Not all those in APP followed him. He moved to PDP. Not all his supporters followed him. He came back to APC. Not all, so, and he now moved to NMPP. So you can see that when people are on nomadism in terms of politicking, they will tend to lose some followers along the line. So I think we are formidable enough to win the election, despite the two have come together. But there's no doubt they are highly respected politicians, and we respect each other.
Let's talk about the efforts to reconcile your humble self and former Governor Ibrahim Shekarau. I understand that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu even got involved, sent his jet to bring Malam Shekarau to Abuja with a view to resolving that dispute so that he will not eventually leave the party. Some of his supporters that I've spoken to have told me that you were very difficult throughout the reconciliations, that you are just fighting everybody. You frustrated his attempt to remain in the party. Why? What went wrong during the reconciliation? How come you were, as a party, were unable to retain Malam Shekarau in the APC?
You see, the real issue is that we wanted Shekarau to remain in the party, and I was in the forefront to ensure that Shekarau remains in the APC, because Shekarau has been my friend, has been my colleague, and I even went to his house in order to beg him to remain in APC. It is true that Bola Ahmed has intervened, and Shekarau presented some demands, which we satisfied most of them. But from the look of things, I think he made up his mind to leave the party, because he requested to be given 2 senatorial seats, which we thought was not appropriate. And we said, well, we can see how we can provide him with 1 senatorial seat. And also he demanded some state assembly members. We gave him 6 state assembly positions. He requested from some commissioners. We gave him 3 commissioners. And also there are other two commissioners from his side now, were serving in the government now. He requested for 10 special advisors. We gave him 10 special advisors. He requested for 20 assistant special advisors, and we gave him 20 special assistant advisors. So, but I think he has decided to leave the party. He left the party, and I'm happy that most of his followers have not followed him. In fact, we are discussing with his followers, and most of them agreed to be with us already, so they have come back. And what he requested in the APC, he has not got the same issues in the new political party. So we believe it's only he decided to leave the party, not because that we have not cooperated with him. We do respect him, and as a former governor of Kano State, I think we must also handle him with respect to that effect. Yes.
Their one argument is that, yes, you promised to make concessions to him, but that They could not trust you. They are saying that you can't be trusted. That's what they are saying. I wonder what you are saying to them in the past.
When I brought him from PDP to APC, why did he trust me? By then he didn't have a single delegate. There were 5 competent aspirants that all of them, I convinced them, they dropped down. And he didn't have any contest with anybody. And he became the senator of Kano Central of our state. So what is the change of opinion now? That is the issue. So I believe he only decided to leave the party. Otherwise, we gave him every conducive atmosphere, every enabling environment to remain in this party, but he decided to leave the party. But however, that is his own personal opinion, and we cannot blame him for that. But what is important is that most of his followers have not followed him, and that is our achievement.
But when you look at it, Your Excellency, you also have admitted that politically is still relevant. And one of the areas people are looking at, especially for those who are, of us who have been following politics in the country, is that in a state like Kano, Jigawa, Katsina, Kaduna, and Niger, that's with other states now, the former governor appears to have some form of influence. Are you not scared that he's going to take your votes now in the coming election with his popularity, and then he being the president? I mean, they having they now having a presidential candidate that can easily, that you can easily sell, and not a southerner, for instance, that you are supporting.
Okay, let us look at history. He was in APC, he contested for presidential election, and he failed. He was in PDP, he contested for, he became number 4, and therefore he failed. 2019, he was in PDP, and he assisted Atiku Abubakar to win election in Kano, and Atiku Abubakar and the PDP did not win a single seat in the National Assembly. Even the representative of his own local government, the Konkoso, he lost it. State Assembly, he lost it. That was a combined effort between Konkoso and Atiku. And now Konkoso has decided to leave PDP to form a new political party. Then what type of arithmetic inference can you make? When they were together, he could not make it. Now he has gone to a new party. So the assumption is that he becomes stronger now? Know that his political calculation was based on regionalism, based on sentiment from the northern part of this country. And unfortunately for him, Atiku Abubakar is now the presidential candidate of PDP again. So you can see how so many variables have come into the mix, and that will make choice very, very difficult for him. So I believe he has succeeded in dividing the votes of PDP. So that is the advantage of APC in Kano State. Therefore, we feel that inshallah we shall win the election despite his defection to a new political party.
So you don't have any fear at all concerning that? And then are you still making efforts now to ensure that the APC in Kano State is at peace before the election?
Of course, we have to continue that. We have to strengthen our internal democracy. We have to continue to look for entrance into the party. So many are coming now into the party, even from the new NMPP political party. So I believe we are right on course.
Into Kano State proper again, talking about the issue of security in your state. Despite the huge size of the state, you have been able to make Kano one of the safest states in Nigeria. If I may ask, how were you able to achieve this?
Thank you for this very important question again. Kano State is the most populous state in the Federation. And sometimes insecurity is related to high density and population. So there are so many variables involved. But first of all is the work of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We always conduct prayers for peace and stability in Kano State and in Nigeria. You can recall that we conducted a national prayer in Kano, where some ulama from African countries came to Kano and we held a successful prayer. So we thank our ulama. Another important issue is the coordination among the security agencies. And we have expanded our Kano State Security Council. Apart from the traditional members of the Army, the Air Force, the Navy, the police, the DSS, the Civil Defense, we also enlarged the Security Committee by including members of the Custom and Immigration, Correctional Homes, Federal Road Safety, NAVDAC, our own local traffic regulatory body, Carota, and also we included those who are involved in human trafficking, vigilante group, traditional rulers. So you can see that we have enlarged the Kano State Security Committee, and we have a lot of information from these organizations. And that is why we are able to plan ahead all the time. Another issue that we are succeeded in is the use of technology. We purchased a very strong communication tracker, which we are using, in fact, beyond Kano State. Even the whole of this country is using the vehicle, the tracker. And also, we have succeeded in studying what is happening in the forest in this country. So we decided to install some video cameras in our forest, especially Falgore Forest. And right from my office, I can see what is happening in Falgore Forest. In the office of the Commissioner of Police, we have installed a communication gadget there. In the office of the DSS, we installed some communication cameras there. And even we extended to the national level. In the office of the DGDSS, we installed some equipment which he can view Falgore Forest from his office. So within our city, we put a number of cameras. At the airport, we are able to put some cameras. Various streets in the markets in Kano. And right now we are undertaking a 10 billion naira security project in Kano State. Whether we are laying some optic fiber, we have covered more than 100 feet or kilometers within Kano Metropolitan. And we intend to put over 200 cameras within Kano Metropolitan. So you can see that we have adopted technology in order to control insecurity in our state. Also, there is what we call community policing, which we have various levels of community committees, right from village level, ward level, local government level, emirate council level, and the state level. They hold a meeting every month, and they exchange information to the security agencies. So this also is helping us a lot. And you will recall that the problem between herders and farmers, Kano State were the first people who said the federal government should prevent the movement of herdsmen from northern part of this country to the southern part of this country in order to reduce the incidence of cattle rustling and also the problem of conflict between farmers and herders. But somehow this was not resolved, and now of the herders are now bandits. Some few of them are now bandits, which is very, very unfortunate. So you can see that we have taken the issue of security in Kano State very, very seriously. And we thank the people of Kano for cooperating with us.
Your Excellency, I was going to ask you two questions rolled into one. I was going to ask you about the extent of CCTV coverage of Kano State. I saw a bit of what you had done in March last year when I visited Kano State last. So I was going to ask, what is the extent of CCTV coverage of the state currently? And then the ranching project that you commenced. How far have you gone with Dansoshia ranching facility, as well as your plan to also put a ranching facility in the Falgore forest?
Thank you. Let me start with the CCTV issue. So far, we have not covered up to 50%, maybe 25%. But we are laying optic fiber now. We think by next January we'll cover 80% of the CCTV cameras in Kano, and we are working day and night to that respect. Pertaining to unsocial Luga settlement, first of all, what we have done is to undertake a survey of herdsmen in Kano. Now we have completed that. We have over 2 million herdsmen in Kano, but the herdsmen, 80% are indigenous of Kano State, only about 20%, and also most of them are, domestic herdsmen. Only a few of them are nomadic herdsmen who transverse from Kano to the southern part of this country. So we had dialogue with that 20%, and that is why we decided to set up the Luga settlement project. We have constructed more than 100 housing units so far, and also we are planting grass as feed, and the Islamic Development Bank has come in. So we are expanding the project. Already we have trained some children of herdsmen on artificial insemination, and they have graduated, and they are now practicing artificial insemination. We have completed design for the construction of artificial insemination centers. Already we have artificial insemination centers in Kano, but in that very particular location, we are establishing an artificial insemination center, a big veterinary clinic, a big market for that matter, and also we succeeded in convincing the Fulanis to stop tracking from northern part of this country to the central part of this country to the southern part of this country. And that has reduced the issue of cattle rustling, and also the problem of hardest farmers conflict is almost zero now in Kano State. So with the help of Islamic Development Bank, we developed that social project to full-scale rural settlement, where all our nomadic Fulanis will be settled in that place. Yes.
Oh, well, in terms of infrastructure, Your Excellency, a lot of people appear to have been praising you, especially in the last 2-3 years. How have you been able to achieve this? What's the motivation? And are you satisfied with where you are now?
Well, yes, we have done well, but not fully satisfied. You see, Kano is a mega city. And mega city, we have certain problems that are inherent to population, especially the traffic issue. So first of all, what we have done, we reviewed the master plan of Metropolitan Kano and see all the places where we have serious traffic jam. We introduce some designs that will checkmate the issue of traffic jam. And we have succeeded in doing that. In fact, I sent our civil engineers, structural engineers, electrical and mechanical engineers to 13 capital cities in the world, all over the world, to go and study various types of interchanges. And they came back with different designs. So we have now altered the master plan of Kano Metropolitan, where so far we have 7 mega interdictions that will produce different types of interchanges. We have Dengue interchange, we have Panshekara Madobi interchange, we have Koforwa interchange, where people coming from Niger, coming from Kano State, they used to have a very strong hold over there. We have also the Shahuchi flyover, which also we introduce a tunnel, to connect the main hospital with the other part of the hospital across the road. So that tunnel is under utilization now. Also, they constructed a flyover from Kofa Mata to Ibrahim Top across Kantinkwari Market to reduce congestion around the market. Also, the previous administration of Konkoso started constructing the Sabongari Market, which we named after Alasan Antata flyover. That is a 3-kilometer flyover. We found it at 25%, but we have succeeded in completing that flyover. And now we are constructing an ultra-modern interchange, which we call Muhammadu Buhari Rotary Interchange, which will be completed in September. That construction work is going on. So you can see that in order to make transportation easy in Kano, we introduce all these kind of designs in the city. And also, we have succeeded in securing loan from Chinese bank for light rail. So we are waiting for the federal government to give us a go-ahead to sign the agreement. Also, we estimated that we need a minimum of 300 luxurious buses to assist transportation in Kano State. So far, we have purchased 100 buses, and by next year, we intend to purchase another 200 buses. So the 100 buses will soon be commissioned in order to improve the transportation system within Metropolitan Kano. So you can see the efforts that we have put, but that does not mean that we are fully satisfied yet. Yeah, so we'll continue as usual.
Let's talk about the bus rapid system. I hear that your state intends to kick off the bus rapid system, bus rapid transit system, BRT, just as we have here in Lagos. When can the people of Kano expect the BRT to kick off in Kano?
Immediately after this national convention, when we go back to Kano, we settle down, because the buses are already there, and the institution responsible for their management is already in place. So very soon we go back to Kano, we make arrangement for the commissioning of that project. Yes.
Have all the lanes been marked out already? The lanes has the government marked out all the lanes?
That is what they are doing. The road traffic people, the engineers are already doing that.
Well, quite interesting. Let's quickly change tack by looking at some other political developments in your state. You've anointed your deputy, Nasiru Gawuna, excuse me, to succeed you in office as governor. And he is now the APC governorship candidate in Kano State. What informed your decision?
Yes. Well, first of all, you know myself, I'm a product of deputy. I was deputy of Kokoso, and by the grace of God, I became the governor of Kano State. Secondly, my deputy is somebody with capacity and capability, and also whatever we are doing it together. So he's fully aware of our projects and programs, and we believe he will continue on that direction. So the most important thing is that he has the capacity. And I think we have made the right choice. So inshallah, we will win the election.
So
and also we get him a very deputy who is also a very hard-working, my former commissioner of local governments. As you see, we have the two, and it's a very strong tag team.
Are they happy? Your Excellency, are they happy to work together? Because some people are saying that, oh, the former commissioner for local government should have been the governorship candidate in the first place. Are you sure these two gentlemen can work together?
Certainly they will work together together. I have sat down with them, and I think both of them have great work together. And that is showing our political dexterity in managing political issues. So I assure you that everything will be in order.
What about the party members? Are they also really happy that they're looking forward to having your deputy governor as the incoming governor come when the election is actually done? Are they also receiving it well?
Yeah, I think most of them are receiving it well. But there are some few people, but even those ones, we have succeeded in convincing them. So everything is coming together now. I think we'll forge ahead and win the election.
Okay, well, you dropped your senatorial ambition because we see that a lot of outgoing governors, they are going to the Senate. Why are you not joining them? Why did you take that decision, Your Excellency?
Well, I took that decision in the interest of our party, in the interest of the state, so that we can win the election squarely. My interest is not more important than the interest of the state. So that is why I decided to concede my own seat, because Senator Barrow wanted to be the governor of Kano State, and I pleaded with him to drop his ambition. And because of the respect he has for me, he decided to drop his ambition. So you can see that in Kano State, we use a lot of dialogue, a lot of advocacy, and with respect to each other. That is our central senatorial district. That is the only senatorial district that we had in election. The southern senatorial district, we succeeded in having only one candidate. And the northern senatorial district, we succeeded in having only one candidate. So I think what I have done is good for the party and good for the people of Kano State. Yeah.
So what next?
So what next for Umar Ganduje as in the post-2023 era? Are you going to set
Allah
up?
Subhanahu wa Ta'ala.
Are you going to set up the Ganduje Foundation?
But I will continue to support the party, continue to support the government when we win. I will continue to serve the country in different capacities, even giving advice. So that one is not really important. I have paid my due. I was secretary to a local government. I was chairman to a local government. I was commissioner of local government. I was deputy governor for 8 years and in charge of local government. Now I'm governor of Kano State for 7 years, getting to 8 years. So for goodness sake, why must I continue to aspire for an elective office? Especially when we need peace and stability in our own party. So I feel satisfied, and I respect the views of other people as well. Yes.
Quite interesting. Just in less than a few hours, all Nigerians will actually be focused on, for instance, our station, trying to know what the outcome of the APC primary will actually be. But the Independent National Electoral Commission has actually said that if any party fails to submit their flag bearer, their presidential candidate, to the commission come Thursday, June the 9th, that party should forget 2023 elections. So are you assuring us that the primary will go rancor-free at the end of the day? I'm afraid we actually lost connectivity with His Excellency Abdullahi Ganduje. He's been speaking for quite some time now. Quite expose, quite interesting facts he actually reeled out. Mikhail.
Yes, he's a honest man. He demonstrated that he spoke straight from his heart. Some of the answers were sort of answers that I expected knowing him. And he was also sacrificed for the party by giving up his senatorial ambition. So all that is left for him now is to continue to play the role of a father rather than aspiring for public office. But he's already in his 70s now. So good luck to him.
Good luck to him. Yeah, he said he's actually achieved a lot of things when it comes to from local government and on and on and on up until being. Okay, I understand we have Governor Abdullahi Ganduje back. Very quickly, I'm not sure whether you got my question, but I'll try to paraphrase. INEC has actually given an ultimatum for all the parties to submit their candidate come June 9th. That if any candidate did not submit their, if any party did not submit their candidates or all the results, then they should forget about 2023. So we want to know whether come tomorrow for APC primary, that there will be no rancor at the end of the day.
I believe there will be no rancor because we have done the groundwork. First of all, the northern governors, we have passed a resolution advising Mr. President. that the contest should be limited to the 1,000 aspirants, and we continue to dialogue with northern aspirants so that they drop their ambition. And also Mr. President has directed or pleaded with the aspirants to go and dialogue among themselves and produce one candidate. In case they will not be able to produce one candidate, then we go for election, which is normal. So I assure you that our convention will be successful and within the time frame.
All right, thank you very kindly, Your Excellency, Governor of Kano State, Abdullahi Ganduje. Thank you so much for your time this morning on Journalists Hangout on Sunday.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency.
Thank you. Thank you, JJ, and the two other gentlemen. Thank you for that.
Thank you. We're grateful.
Thank you.